Hello, I'm Christian McKay. I'm the Executive Officer of the Montana Board of Livestock, and with us today is Tony Shizmansky, staff veterinarian here at the department. And it has been reported, we do have a positive case of EHV1 in horses. That was reported last Friday. Dr. Shizmansky, you traveled down to Gallatin County on Saturday and saw the horse and the operation. Can you tell us what you saw there?
Sure. This is a boarding facility in Gallatin County. The affected horse is a 15-year-old quarter horse that traveled to the event in Ogden, has been held not in quarantine but in a relative state of isolation since returning from Ogden and learning of the risk of EHV1. They held the animal for about 3 weeks' time, and then, no clinical signs, no fever of the horse or any other horses on the property. They had started to ease some of their restrictions. And at that time they did a final test to make sure that everything was good to go, and we ended up coming back with a positive PCR and a nasal swab, which means that they found the virus in the nasal secretions of the horse. So since that time the horse has gone back into quarantine. He's been separated from the rest of the population, and they've got a hold order on the rest of the horses on the property.
Now, has this horse showed any clinical signs, elevated temperature, nasal discharge, any of the typical symptoms that we see with this?
He has been healthy since the first day that they knew of the risk. They began temping him about 1 week after he returned from Ogden. They did his temperature twice a day for 14 days, kept a really close eye on him. At that same time, they were temping all of the other horses in the barn. No elevated fevers, elevated temperatures, no clinical signs, and now that we have the positive test, they've resumed that twice daily temping of all horses, and 4 days in we still have no clinical signs, no elevated temperature. So
it sounds like they have been very responsible and very on top of the game here.
They absolutely have. They've been doing all of the diligence that they need to be, have been very conscientious of other horses, making sure that they're notifying anybody that may have been exposed. So they're really taking care of things, and there's a lot about this virus that we don't know. Specifically, we can't say for sure that the virus that this horse is shedding at this time is related to the Ogden event, but we also cannot say that it's not related to the Ogden event. So taking all precautions necessary, that's why these horses are back under quarantine.
Typically, the incubation period for this is between 8 and 14 days. We thought we may be out of the woods. I guess the thing to say there is exactly what you just said. There's a lot we don't know about the virus, and it's very strange.
It's very strange. That's very true. There's a lot we don't know, and I think the best characterization I heard today was they really threw us a curveball on this one.
There you go.
So trying to learn more information. Some additional samples are going to be tested, or going to be collected from the horse this week, and sent off for further testing to see what more information we can gather to make sure that we're protecting horses in Montana.
Okay. There are a lot of horses in the area. What should event organizers know? We're getting into kind of the heat of the season here for a lot of different horse events.
Absolutely.
What should organizers know, be attentive to or require of their participants?
I think that all of us here agree that the risk to horses in Montana continues to be low, despite this one positive test. But I think that anytime horses congregate, there's absolutely going to be a risk of the spread of multiple diseases, not just EHV1. There's currently some recommendations for horse shows that I think is linked to on our webpage that people can go to. It talks about if animals have been in contact with an exposed horse in the previous 28 days, if those horses have showed any clinical signs in the previous 28 days. And then a really great baseline is to just request a temperature on those horses, either at the time they enter the event or within 24 hours prior.
Okay. A lot of horse owners in the area. Anything local horse owners should pay attention to or be wary of?
I think the horse owners that may have been exposed, I think, are well aware at this time. For horse owners that do have concerns, I think the first thing that I would recommend is don't go test your horse. These horses are exposed to this virus throughout their lifetime. It's endemic in the horse population. A lot of horses will naturally test positive. So we can get positive results on horses that have no association with Ogden, with any horses from Ogden, and sometimes it's really complicated to interpret those results. So if you have concerns about your horse or the safety of your horse, monitoring the animal and doing twice daily temperatures is really the best thing that you can do. If you see any changes in the temperature over 1015, consult with your local veterinarian and we can take it from there.
Okay, good advice. And a public meeting coming up in Bozeman?
Yes, this Thursday evening at the Gallatin County Fairgrounds, building number 1, from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll have a public meeting for anybody in the community that has concerns. They can attend. We'll do our best to answer any questions that people have and just get everybody on the same page here.
Okay, so that'll be Thursday, June 16th, 6 to 8 p.m., Building 1 at the Gallatin County Fairgrounds.
That's correct.
Okay. Look for a good turnout. You'll be there?
Yes,
I'll be there.
Yep.
Should be a good meeting.
Yes.
Dr. Shizmansky, thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope you found this informative. We will continue to update you more as we find out. I'm Christian McKay with the Montana Department of Livestock.